I give our guys a lot of credit, coming out of the last game against Phoenix, and some of the things we had talked about is trying to be a little bit more balanced, and I thought we were a lot more balanced tonight. A lot of different guys got involved offensively. I thought we played really well in the first half. The third quarter for both teams, I think, was a bit sloppy. We had way too many turnovers, especially on the break. I thought we really had an opportunity to open up the game, but we turned the ball over quite a bit in that third quarter, and then I thought we played much, much better in the fourth, which was great. So, again, I think for our team, another game where I think we're progressing and we're getting better, and it was good to see us do some of the things that we tried to focus on coming out of the Phoenix game.
Nick Gallo, OKCThunder.com. First three possessions of the game were rolls between Steven and Russ. Was that the tone you kind of wanted to set to open things up?
Well, again, when you can get the ball ahead of the defense and you got Russell coming downhill when the ball swung from side to side, it's hard for the defense to shift, all the way over. And who they shifted to was Russell, and he made a couple nice pocket passes to Steven for a couple dunks. But when we got the ball moving from side to side, it really was effective for us. And to start the in that first quarter, I think we scored 28 points maybe, or 30 points there in the first quarter. But I thought our ball movement was really, really good. And I think we had ended up with 29 assists. Outside the turnover part of it, coming back from where we had such few assists, I don't know what we had, maybe 15 or 14 or something along those lines last game. But to see us get back up and shoot a much higher percentage, and this was good because these guys get an opportunity to see just conceptually moving and playing, just where the openings are and the reads, and I thought we did a better job making reads today.
Just on a similar note, in terms of just Russell and the pick and roll today, what did you think of his recognition as a distributor out of those sets?
Well, I think he's great. I thought in the second half, just with the ball being at the other end, I really felt like he did a great job manipulating the floor, and he got Steven Adams several rolls to the basket. I thought he got downhill. I think probably some of his turnovers, if he's looking at them, I'm looking at them, I think they're all coming from like a really good place. He's trying to get other guys involved and maybe trying to thread the needle. But overall, I thought his balance in terms of, you look at his rebounds, you look at his number of assists, you look at the number of shots, the efficiency on offense, the three-point shots he took. Like, he was really efficient tonight. He shot 50%, from the field, and I think it was 5 or 6 from three. He was really, I thought, really well balanced between the pass and the shot. But I think when you are trying to get your teammates involved and you're trying to make those plays to help your teammates, there's going to be some times where you're going to have some turnovers. So, but I thought overall, coming off a game where he had against Phoenix, just his ability to come back and play the way he did tonight, to me, was just so impressive, because it just talks in volumes about how important winning is to him, how important his teammates are to him, and how much he feels responsible to raising the level of play of the people around him, not only with his energy, but with making the game easier for guys. And, I thought overall, coming off of that game and a day in between them playing tonight, I thought he was terrific tonight and did so many different things.
Anthony Morrow had 6 points, 5 minutes tonight, and then he didn't see the court after that. What's it going to take to get him on the court more than what he's playing right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think looking at our whole entire roster, it's the third game, and trying to get everybody involved and see what everybody can do and keeping everybody engaged. Anthony gave us some great minutes. We felt like we had some really good matchups there for him in the second quarter of the first half. But, the second half, they ended up going small. They played with 3 guards and, felt a little better with Samaj Christian out there just defensively for us. But, the minutes that Amo gave us when he got in there were really good. We went on a nice run. He knocked down a 3, made a running drive. He made another jump shot. So I got confidence in Anthony. I know what he can do. He's a veteran. I so much appreciate and never want to take for granted his readiness. You don't play the first 2 games and you come out and you're ready to play here. I mean, he's just a true professional. So, again, I think Joffrey didn't play the first game. He's gotten a chance to play a little bit more. It's not about getting guys more minutes, because I just don't think the best thing to do is to shorten our team in the third game. What we need to do is we need to lengthen our team. We need to keep everybody engaged and see what everybody can do. And sometimes there's going to be growing pains in doing that. But I appreciated Nick Collison and Anthony Morrow, veteran guys like that come in and keep themselves ready. And I know I can rely on them. And they understand how long the season is, and they get and see the big picture. But Anthony Morrow, in my opinion, is always going to be very important to our team.
Billy, when they cut it to 4, Russ I think he had 9 points in that 13-0 run. How important is it over the course of the game he gets some help so there's plenty in the tank, when you get late, that he can do those kinds of things?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think if you look at, I always try to look at shot distribution, the balance of shots, and because the ball's in his hands as much as it is, he's gonna create and get to the rim and make things happen. But Andre gets 7 shots, and Steven gets 12. Victor got 20. Cantor got 11. Ersan had 6, and I thought he had really good looks from behind the three-point line. Like, everybody was distributing. I thought shots were distributed throughout our team, and that was encouraging. So if you look at Ennis and Steven played some together, but those two guys basically from the 5 spot get 21 shots. That's good for us, and I thought we did a better job of getting the ball inside to those guys where those guys could play.
Billy, Ersan, especially in the first half, was looking really quick to outlet when he got defensive rebounds. How important is that to your transition process, and is that something you've really emphasized?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about trying to get high outlets and inbounds quickly. I think the biggest thing is the quicker you can get the ball to Russell, the more you create a broken floor, open floor situation for him to make plays. The longer you hold on to it, the more it allows the defense to get set and get back. But you also noticed in the first half there was one we were trying to get out. I don't know who threw it to him, but it kind of led Russell where he kind of caught it, and it was an offensive foul. We also got to be careful too, because I thought LA tonight was recognizing us doing that, and Nick Young and Russell, those Lou Williams, they were trying to come back and create some steals. So as much as you want to create a high outlet, you also got to understand the higher the outlet, the closer you are to the defense.
Billy, you talked a lot last year in February and March about the schedule getting tougher and kind of giving yourself a chance to evaluate your team on a different level. Next 2 games you got are teams that are at a little bit higher level. Are you excited
Absolutely.
to see kind of where your team is at in those 2
Yeah, I
games?
mean, I think I look at it now, clearly I think, the Clippers and Golden State, along with San Antonio, I think everybody thinks the West, those 3 teams are clearly, 3 of the better teams in the West right now. I've always been a big believer, and I even just go back to when I was a college coach. I always wanted to play a game early in November, or when I say November, against a top 10 ranked team, because I think when you end up playing a bunch of guarantee games and you go on your conference schedule and you're 10-0 and you've whacked everybody by 35 points, you'd find out nothing about your team. I think Phoenix, just with them right now, they're much improved because they've gotten healthy. And I would say the same thing with Philly, getting Embiid and some of those younger guys. They're better. And I think the Lakers are better. Just some of those younger guys, they're better. So I think the whole West, maybe some of the teams that finish close to the bottom are better. So we've been tested in a good way these first 3 games, but no question the higher level of talent and team you're going to play against, you find out even that much more. And I think the adversity and the challenges, it forces you to clearly to be able to look at yourselves in areas that you have to improve in. And I've always liked that, because I don't know if we would have played as well as we started to play towards the end of the season had we not gone through what we went through during the All-Star break, because we had a full sense, not of ourselves, but some of the things we were getting away with, and winning can blind you. We're getting away with certain things winning, and then all of a sudden we're not getting away with it against really good teams. So this gives us an opportunity really early in the season, in the 4th game and the 5th game, to find out, really more about ourselves against 2 outstanding teams.
Billy, with Russell's increased efficiency, is it safe to say the whole offense became more efficient? I mean, you guys had 29 assists tonight, like last game you had, I think, 13.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, sometimes the assist can be misleading because the ball's got to go in the basket. So if you shoot a high percentage, generally it's going to be more assists. But we had better ball movement tonight. Russell did a great job picking and choosing, when to drive it, when to shoot it, and he was really efficient. He was efficient from inside 3. He was efficient from behind the line. He got 16 assists, and again, the 7 turnovers. As much as he's trying to incorporate these guys, he's trying to help Steve, and he's trying to help that. And some of those interior passes are tough passes, but I give him credit that he's really, and I think he mentioned this after the Phoenix game, he wanted to get more guys involved, and he knows, and I said it after the game, that's not sustainable. What we did tonight was more sustainable over the course of the season. Now, it wasn't perfect, but I thought we had more, I like to use the word offensive stamina. We had more stamina on offense to keep getting the ball from side to side to try to, get into the deep paint and generate and create shots.
Yeah, Billy, do you have the ability to be amazed at Westbrook's numbers? I mean, people like us say crazy things during the summer about what he might do, and here he's, through 3 games, he's shooting, or surpassing our craziest predictions. Do you ever sit there and allow yourself to say, holy crap, he's got 16 assists again, or 15 rebounds, or whatever, 51 points, whatever it might be?
What really amazes me is because of his ability to impact the game in so many different ways, he's going to always have numbers because he can rebound, he can drive it, he can shoot it, he can post up, he can get guys shots, he sees the floor, he's bright, okay? But with that being said, what amazes me is the heart and the passion and the competitiveness and the fire he plays with every single night. And I think it's extremely rare. It's incredible. That's really what amazes me. Because of that, he ends up putting up unbelievable numbers. But the force of which he can play possession after possession after possession, and the aggressiveness of, the rebounding to me is amazing. I mean, he's on the glass. He's in there with 7-footers, and he's coming down with loose basketballs. Even in the third quarter, there were a couple long threes that were short, and he came running from the other side of the floor and knew it was short, and he picked it up. That's what's really overwhelming to me. And I know this is only my second year up here at this level, and I've coached for a long period of time. But as a coach, it is a real blessing to be able to coach me like that, and to be able to have a point guard and a leader that you never have to worry about coming ready to play. And you never have to worry about his agenda is winning. His agenda is to try to make the team better. And, I can't say enough about that. The numbers, they're great. They're awesome. But just to watch the way he competes as a competitor is what really amazes me.
Steven Adams, if I'm not mistaken, I think had his best numbers on the boards. Competition may be different, but what, if anything, if you noticed different about him tonight versus the first 2 games?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Steven always does a really good job of trying to get in there an offensive rebound. He keeps a lot of possessions alive for us. He obviously had good numbers on the glass for us. But I think Steven's continued to get better and to grow as a rebounder. And he and Ennis on the offensive glass, the both of them got a great knack for coming up with those rebounds and loose balls. And I think defensively on the glass, we got to continue to improve in that area. We were inconsistent last year, and I think we've been a little bit more consistent so far this year.